All right, good evening to you all. Hope you all are cleaned up and dug out after this today's snow or winds that came through the region. Boy, we're starting off great, aren't we? Had a lot of winds that came through last night and in through the early parts of today, and then even into this afternoon. Blizzard warnings, as you can see, have all expired that were across the Red River Valley and into northwestern Minnesota. Those are gone now. Winds are moving out of the area. Big high pressure starting to move in. These temperatures are starting to cool off. And that cold air really starting to push down to the southeast. Big weather headline right now, which we're not going to talk a whole lot about because I want to focus on North Dakota and Minnesota. Because these guys get enough attention anyway, but just to point out, just because you're going to be hearing a lot about it on the news, there it is. There's all the snow and the rain and the freezing rain and all that stuff, fun stuff, that the news and the national guys are going to be talking all about. Just because we've got this cold air that's pushing down into the Midwest, creating lots of havoc down there and in areas that are just plain old not used to it. I mean, we are talking winter storm warnings in through Oklahoma and down in through Texas even, and then some winter weather advisories into the Panhandle and then up through Colorado as well. So the system that moved through us is now way up in the Hudson Bay. The high pressure that's going to be affecting us is essentially affecting the rest of the United States. Let's take a look at that high. As we scooch on up to the northwest, up towards north of Calgary into Alberta, and there's our big high pressure system that's going to be sliding on down, folks, and bringing with it all this cold air along with it. Here we're already seeing lows around, or lows temperatures. They're not even lows yet. They're just temperatures around 33 and 31, 26 below. So all that eventually is going to slide down into our region. Let's take a quick look right now, just specifically what is going on. And we're already sitting, -6 in Grand Forks, -9 in, oh gosh, that's not Rugby. I'm forgetting which one that is, but anyway, central part of the state, -9, and then right around 0, right around the donut, as Tom Szymanski would say, down in the southwestern parts of North Dakota. So, yeah, we had a lot of winds. We're going to take a look at some of the peak winds that occurred with this storm. We're going to go to trusty old Facebook here. And this is out of Bismarck. They popped this up as a nice little graphic on Facebook. Minot gets the award for the highest wind throughout the 24-hour period, 74 miles per hour out in Minot. Actually, a number of 70s, Denhoff, Garrison, Blaisdell, 73, and then plenty of 60s. 60 mile per hour gusts. You can see the list there. Rugby, Jamestown, Bismarck had 61, 62 off the I-94 bridge. The airport itself had 64. Medina, good old Medina, 66 miles per hour. We always joke, I have family that live in Bismarck, so when we come from Grand Forks to Bismarck and we're taking that I-94, and no matter what, it seems like we hit Medina, and if the weather is bad at Medina, it's going to get good, or if the weather is good, you're going to hit Medina and it's going to get bad. I don't know what it is, but it's just sort of been a running joke with us, and it seems to pan out quite a bit. So Medina, I'm sorry, but you're going to hear me talk a lot about you whenever you've got some kind of weather, because something always changes there. But 66 there. In mile per hour gusts in Minot. So that's out of Bismarck and the central and western parts of North Dakota. We're going to move on over. Grand Forks, you got to pick up your graphics game. Doesn't look quite as nice as Bismarck's. But anyway, here's what Grand Forks put out. 70 miles per hour out in Devil's Lake. They did mention that that was coming right off of Devil's Lake. So, of course, not a lot of friction, no trees, no grass. So that wind's just going to be whipping right across the lake. So they did mention that there's a little bit of caveat there with that. So that must be a sensor that just automatically picks up some higher winds, wind speeds at that direction. But anyway, nonetheless, it still is 70 miles per hour, pretty impressive. Leeds, the next highest at 65, 60 down in Daisy, Valley City 62. Fargo had 55 mile per hour winds, Walhalla 54, Gwinner 52, Grand Forks right here at the airport 51. Findlay 48, maybe 44. There was an end-on station. Remember if we talked about that last night, these end-on stations that are across North Dakota really help us out when it comes to giving us a really good idea of what's currently going on across the state. But so there you go. It panned out pretty much as we were thinking. Really, it started off in the northwestern part of North Dakota, and the worst of it almost was in that, as you can see, that Devil's Lake and that Leeds area. We had that area of red that started off last night, and we had those 60 mile per hour gusts in here. And if you remember when I was showing you those models, up at the upper levels, that red, that 50 knots or greater, so 55 mile per hour or greater winds were just sitting right through here. And sure enough, that's where a lot of the higher winds occurred once that area moved from northwest to southeast. Nevertheless, much of the area still had blizzard conditions off and on. I went into work a little bit later, but it was around 9:30, and it was fine. There was some drifting. But boy, about a couple hours later, the winds seemed to pick up. It started snowing a little bit, and it got nasty out where I was at. So I think conditions fluctuated from time to time, where it would be okay at 1 minute, and then whatever, a few minutes to an hour later, and it'd be worse. In fact, eventually they did wind up closing interstate from Grand Forks up to the Canadian border, and that was like 4 o'clock this afternoon when they finally did that. So just goes to show you things can change in a matter of minutes, and it's just it can still get nasty out there after a while. But now we're just left with a wind chill advisory, and that's in effect essentially from tonight until Thursday at noon. So very cold wind chills expected, as low as 40 below zero. And I think even possibly colder than that. So in some areas might be a little bit colder than that with some of these wind chills. And so yeah, we can see the skies have cleared out. A lot of this blue that you're seeing in through here right now, that's just snowpack. Actually, it's kind of interesting when you take a look at this. Here you got more of a purple area and more of a bluish hue in through there. And this is, have you heard me mention, this is where a lot of the snowpack actually is. Anywhere that had problems, anywhere that had the candy cane road conditions throughout the period, this is where they occurred, because that's still where the snow was, and it's actually showing up on the infrared satellite overnight. So clear skies, some high stuff moving in through the west, mid and high level clouds into the west, nothing really to be concerned about there. We'll flip on over. Let's just do current conditions real quick. And we're going to take a look, and we can see once again, winds have died down. Everything's out of the northwest. These wind barbs are essentially showing 10 to 15 knots. So, 15 to 20 mile per hour, but really no gusts, maybe some little bit of drifting. As we get out in the central and western parts of the state, it's closer to, 5 to 15 with maybe some gusts to 20. So winds really lightening up. Sky is clear. Not a good recipe for, or it is a good recipe, I should say, if you want cold weather. Not a good recipe if you don't want cold weather. I don't want cold weather, so it's not a good recipe for me. I don't like this recipe. Somebody change it. I don't want it. I don't like it. I don't want to eat it. But anyway, it's going to start getting cold. We'll take a look at our handy dandy models that have come out. This one just came out. We're going to flip on over to the one that just came out, actually. And you're going to see that high pressure in through, I'll get my drawing out, this area high pressure sitting in through here, kind of affecting down in through South Dakota, Minnesota, and then back up into Manitoba, Saskatchewan, really pulling in now this cold air into the northern part of the state, and creating this snow and freezing rain and sleet down through the central plains up into the Midwest. So this big high pressure really having an impact on a lot of areas. If we go through the time frame now, once again, we're going to click on, we're going to move on up until this is tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. And, you know, again, just because of that high pressure sitting there, we're not going to be expecting any kind of snow for a while. Cold, 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 cold with this high pressure sitting over us. And if you remember me talking a couple of days ago, here are our thickness lines, and they dip on down, don't they? They're quite low, 498. Anything below 504 for a thickness line is quite cold. So here we are at Thursday morning, and I'm going to zoom in here a little bit just to show again what we're thinking as far as temperature wise, and I'll show you a couple different things. Next little system, that high pressure moves out fairly quickly. Another little Alberta clipper comes moving on out, helps warm things up Thursday into Friday, might bring with it a little bit of light snow, kicks on through real quick, cools things off maybe for Friday morning, and then later in the day tries to rebound again. Another system starts to pull on out, and you notice once again these thicknesses are ridging on up, so that's good for warmer weather, right? And this model showing maybe some rain in through here, but also showing the potential of maybe some snow as well. So let's zoom in a little bit now that we have just sort of the broad view. Let's get a little more specific on timing and just exactly what's going on. Really won't be a whole lot that we're going to be talking about just because they are such drier systems when they come out of the northwest like this. They don't have a lot of juice to work with. They don't have the Gulf moisture like we like to talk about in the summertime. I mean, especially when it comes to severe weather, you know, it's the same thing for winter weather. Really, we need these lows to come out of Colorado and deep, you know, and get real access into this Gulf of Mexico moisture to get those big, deep storms. But these are just continuing to come out of Canada, and the pattern just never really changes. So here you go. Snow kind of starts to move in. This is about, well, this is noon on Thursday. Snow off in the northwestern part of the state. Quickly moves through. There is 6 p.m., reaches the eastern part of the state, down in through Wishick, Napoleon, Jamestown, Cooperstown area. And then again, this is midnight, and it's moved out of much of North Dakota, and it's in through central Minnesota by that time. Really not expecting much in the way of accumulation. Obviously, it's going to be cold, it's going to be dry, and it's going to be fast moving. We'll take a look at here once my handy dandy computer loads up, and just see how much the models are currently thinking this system might bring. And there you have it. You know, maybe an inch if we're lucky. You know, the things that often happen with these types of systems, just because they are so fast moving, they zip on through. They dump a little bit of snow. They might actually create a little bit of blowing snow with this. That's pretty typical when these things go flying through so fast. And let's just take a look at that. And actually, this one doesn't so much. You know, I would think if there's going to be any kind of problem, it would be overnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. This is around 3 a.m. on Friday morning. Maybe some drifting going on in through the Devil's Lake and Jamestown area. But boy, that's really about it for that one. So this really is a pretty weak system that moves through. Not much of a concern. high pressure builds in. Again, some colder temperatures on store for Friday. And then Saturday, winds start to pick up out of the south as this next low moves into the region. Precip-wise, we'll skip on out to that particular time frame. This is Saturday morning at 6 a.m. And actually, let's just back up a few hours and just take a look, just to give you a little bit of a feel of the timing of things. So here we are at 9 p.m. Friday night. A little bit of snow off in the eastern part of North Dakota. Midnight. And this is 3 a.m. on Saturday. Maybe some rain or some mix off in the northwest. And then as this low continues to kind of move to the east, southeast, maybe some mixed precip into north central part of the state. Again, a bit of a ways out. This is Saturday. There is some collaboration with some other models that are actually showing about the same thing, that this system will move into the region Friday night into Saturday morning with some mix of rain and snow, maybe even some sleet, but it's just a matter of tracking. You can see there could be the potential of some accumulating snow in the northern parts of Minnesota. So if this system does slide a bit further south, I would expect northern parts of North Dakota into northern Minnesota would also pick up some accumulating snow. Right now, as this particular model shows, doesn't appear to be much, but we will have to keep an eye on that because the way things have been going, I just think this is going to dip maybe a little bit further south. So I really think areas in the north central, northeastern parts of North Dakota will most likely see some sort of accumulating snow and even some mix of rain and sleet in with that as well, the way this is looking. How far south, that'll be yet to determine, but that's really what I would expect. This is probably going to take a little bit further south, southerly projection later as we get closer. We'll see, but that's just I guess what my experience has been, or what I've been seeing lately as to what the models have been doing. We're going to take a look at what the Weather Service. I'm going to take a look at some maps here that show exactly what the Weather Service themselves are thinking. These are grids that the guys working in your offices in Bismarck and Grand Forks, they take the models and they adjust them a little bit. So tomorrow, and so this is Thursday. Sorry, here's tomorrow, Wednesday. The max temperatures for tomorrow and Wednesday, we're looking at single digits in the southwest to 10 below up in the north central part of the state. Lows Wednesday night. Let's see here. This is Wednesday morning. Kind of getting these flipped around, I think, because of the timing right now. But come on. Wednesday. 2 max. 2 mins. Okay. Okay, they're a little confusing me, but sorry about that. So Thursday morning, these are the temperatures that we've been talking about now for a while. Thursday morning is really going to be your coldest morning, and we're still looking at 30 below zero. This is actual temperatures in through northern Minnesota, northwestern parts or northeastern parts of North Dakota. And then we get into the teens below to, roughly 5 below down in the southwestern part of the state. We're still looking at wind chills within these areas, probably 45 below up in that Dunseith area, I believe is where this is. And then closer to 40 below in Grand Forks, about the same in Bismarck. And much of these areas where you see 30, you're going to be in that 40 below wind chill range on Thursday. And then it does warm up. It does rebound a little bit. That's why the advisory cancels on noon on Thursday. You can see temperatures rebound quite nicely. We're back in the 20s down in the southwest and even just negative single digits further off in the east. Yay! I'll take it, I guess, but at least it's not 30 below. But it does kind of rebound, thankfully. I'll take it. Whatever's coming next. And in fact, what's coming next I will enjoy. Here's Friday. Still about the same, but a little bit warmer now down in the southwest. A little bit, a little more hope. A little more hope. Hey, look at this. Friday. That weak little system that moves through that might bring something Thursday night into Friday, helps us warm things up. 40s projected right now into the southwest, close to 30, upper 20s in through northeastern parts of North Dakota. We're jumping to Saturday. Cools off a little bit just because that low does move through. Cools us back down a little bit. This next system that comes through on Saturday doesn't bump us up quite as much the way it's looking. Actually, I think this might be adjusted. I wouldn't be surprised if these temperatures go up a little bit here in the next few days. These are maximum temperatures as of Saturday, and I think if this system does come through, I think we're still going to be seeing highs in the teens, at least in the eastern parts of North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota. So we'll see if this rebounds a little bit. I think it will, just according to what I've seen now on the models. Sunday, here we go, 40s, upper 20s, take it, I'll take it. And then Monday, about the same, even warmer, closer to the 30s in northern Minnesota. So better things ahead, that way we can look forward to. We're going to take a look back at some longer range models now and just give you a little glimpse of what's coming down the pike. And you're going to find, as I'm going to show you, that not much really is going to change other than these warmer temperatures. They're a little bit warmer temperatures. That's the main thing. That's the good thing, right? That's the thing that we're wanting, is that whatever happens, at least just give us some warmer temperatures. And they will be fluctuating. There will be some colder nights occasionally, but like I said, there will be more of a roller coaster, a rock back and forth, which is starting to be typical this time of year. I mean, we're getting into February. We're starting to get into that time of year where daylight differences really start to increase, where we're really gaining some ground on daylight time now. So there is some hope ahead. So here we're going to take a look at the upper level pattern. And I've talked about these before. A lot of times, when you see these troughs, this indicates, a system moving through, but it also means colder air. Once you get on the south side of these jets here, that's where the warmer air likes to build in, is on the south side of these little jets that come and go and really are the driving force of our weather, essentially. So we really, as meteorologists, like to watch this and help us decide what's going to happen and help us direct us sometimes on what model to go by. But anyway, here you can see Wednesday into Thursday. Remember, cold air, that Thursday morning, so we still have this trough sitting through our area, but have no fear. This jet starts to build off to the northeast, and that helps our temperatures begin to rebound, so we kind of get into that little bit warmer air. Here's Friday. And then Saturday, there's our system that comes through. There's the next trough. Once we have these troughs come through, that's, again, those are our weather drivers. Remember, we have that low, that surface low that kind of dips down and moves back to the northeast. There's the upper pattern that signifies that correlates with that. And so there's the driver right there. So temperatures kind of cool off with that trough. Another little jet builds and starts to move to the northeast. Our temperatures will rebound. Another little system kind of tries to knock it down, but not as much. So that's why our temperatures don't really go down as much anymore. Rebounds again. Another weak little trough, maybe make it a little cooler, but just because that one isn't very deep, doesn't look like it's going to be too cold. And then again, the jet tries to rebound. We try to get back into the warmer air. For sure, the southwestern part of the state would look like that. But once we get this far out, I mean, we're looking at Friday, February 11th. Good day, by the way. That's my birthday. What exactly is going to happen, that's yet to be seen. But the one thing we can kind of draw out of this, as we just kind of rock this back and forth, is nothing's really going to change. We're just going to see these quick little systems move through. Might cool off for a little bit, and then it's going to warm back up. The system might move through, might be kind of weak, might be strong. Just depends on how deep this trough, these troughs are. It looks like the main one right now is Saturday. After that, the systems look kind of weak, just because the troughs that do move through aren't very deep. The only one that is a little deeper is this one that moves through on Saturday. This one. This one's just a little bit deeper, so has the potential of producing a little more precipitation. But once that moves through, we do have this one that moves in through the region, but kind of passes us actually. This one might be a little bit more something, but again, now we're getting out to February 8th, and that's quite a ways away. Again, the main thing we take out of this is just we're going to get these systems coming out of Canada, dive down to the south and east, and then eject it back up to the north, northeast. So not a whole lot of precip usually falls out of this, as we said before. It's not these systems that are coming out of Colorado that dumps a lot of snow on us. It's just if we get anything, it's going to be these quick hitting systems, cool us off for a bit, warm back up. So that's the overall pattern. Thankfully, the pattern itself just looks a little warmer. So we will take that. And I'm having a problem. I was just going to see if by chance anybody is watching live or has any comments. Oh, we don't want that. Don't want to hear myself. Okay. Just checking. So don't forget, I'm going to pop up my information down here. Region Weather, Region WX on Twitter. Follow me there. Send me any kind of pictures, any kind of videos you may have had. Follow me on Facebook, Region Weather Live, at Region Weather Live on Facebook. Follow me there. Send me any pictures, any photos that you might have. Send me any comments, and then also take a look at my webpage. That's still very much in development. I've got to figure that out a little more. That part really isn't my expertise, but I'm learning. I'm trying to pick up on all this stuff and trying to adjust on all this and trying to work with this and hopefully make things so that you're getting some good information out of this, and I'm showing you some fun stuff, and we can talk. And as we go through this, let me tell you, I'm excited for this. You guys come on. You guys come help me. Please send me some information that would be beneficial to others, especially when these systems come through. Boy, if we can show people pictures and video, that is just what really helps tie all this together. It really is. People like that. I like that. People watching are going to like that. So again, not only am I here to help you out, but I hope at times you can also help others out as well. So there you have it. I plan to be on tomorrow evening. Again, probably won't have a whole lot to talk about other than just some of the cold temperatures. So tomorrow should be pretty quick. Thursday, I will not. Daughter's got a basketball game. And then Friday, I probably will not either. So tomorrow will probably be the last day, unless the system coming in on Saturday looks like it's really potent, or looks like it's really going to be picking up a fair amount of moisture that it's going to be working with and dumping some snow or some freezing rain and stuff. I'll shoot for Thursday, Thursday night. And I should be able to make that one. And then Friday, we'll see. It gets a little busy after that. So, but like I said, if it really turns out to be a potent system, I definitely will be coming on to share everything with you guys. So thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, and all that fun stuff. Have